problem of working out what limited action set is the best one to go for, what gear to try and pick up to work with that limited action set, what runes to slot into it, all of that kind of stuff is a non-trivial problem, and it requires a fair bit of thought and a fair bit of processing. It also depends entirely on your personal preference in terms of game style and what kind of encounter you're going to be doing as well, whether you're going to be doing something that's just a single target heavy or taking down a huge swarm of ads, or so on and so forth. That's part of the joy of WildStar, the fact that your ability set and loadout are so flexible, but it also means that you really got to think carefully about how you plan out how you want to play, particularly as you start creeping towards those later levels.
Absolutely. I mean, sorry, go ahead.
No, you carry on.
I was going to say, you have the amps, which in each of the last sets that you have, each of the action sets, your amp will stay the same, and that is the one thing you must pay to respec is the amp itself. However, your abilities, the way you place the abilities, how many points you put into each little individual milestone, all of that is completely up to you on the fly, literally in that moment in time. I can tell you point blank that in one dungeon, I changed my lass 7 times as a healer. 7 times. Because I'm like, ooh, well, this group does this and it has this. So I'm going to make certain I have this so I can be the most efficient at this. So I'd say, hold on 1 second. And the tanks and the DPS were the same. They're like, we're pooling a group, so now we want to have a bit more of the AoE style. Or, we need to have at least 4 interrupts for this particular boss, so everybody shifts and moves around a little bit more. And it's an exciting part of the gameplay. It keeps it dynamic. It keeps it fresh for me. Because, while we're learning these things, I will know going in, if I have a medic, I need to not have to worry about one particular thing. But if I have, say, a stalker in there, I need, as a healer, something a little different than what I would use on, say, an engineer tank or on a warrior tank. And it just, there is this excitement that I really feel when playing WildStar. And it comes from this variety and the fact that there is no one-way ticket. Someone could sit there and go, cookie cutter builds, yeah, they're going to exist. And I'm going to say, cookie cutter builds will exist for people who don't run around with other people consistently. Because you're going to be like, this will work for all of this stuff. Well, that's great. But if you want to start nailing yourself down and doing veterans, if you want to start nailing yourself down and being the best you can be, you're going to learn to be adaptable based on what is in your group, what is in your raid, and it's going to change the entire style of play. So I honestly don't think cookie cutters are a possibility. What about you, Gazzy? Now, we've had a question come in from Angelic Mayhem, so I'm going to go ahead and throw this out there. Speaking of, but wait, there's more. Do either of you think WildStar will have expansion packs on the level of SWTOR's Galactic Strongholds or Rise of the Hutt Cartel? Or will they simply keep adding more and more adventures? Do you want to tackle this one first, or do you want me to?
Okay, I'll have a go first. Nowadays, or in fact, including the housing changes that they're putting in, you could put it outside and blow it up to massive proportions. Perhaps you'd even be able to use the monkey cup as a jacuzzi. I don't know, but that could be cool.
I'll tell you, that reminds me. I ran Storm Talon, and there's the statue dropped. It was a purple decoration for the house, and the guild my guild I was running with them, they said, here, you have it. And I just basically started crying on stream because, I was streaming at this time. But I took it and I put it on my house, and I still don't have the housing system and all the slider bars quite under my belt yet as a tool set. So I put it on there and I made one movement. I turned to look over because my cat did something, and all of a sudden I look back and this little statue was massive, and it was tilt ever so slightly this way and turned ever so slightly this way. And I was just like, oh, no, I can't see anything. I need to fix this. How do I do it? I will let you know. It took me 15 minutes to figure it out. But I at least now have that tool set under my belt. But yeah.
I'm looking forward to to actually getting the privileges to go in and redecorate Mizpah's house. Because, doorways are going to go missing.
You know what? Maybe that's what you and I need to do. Okay, I won't do this to Kai. I would actually go in and like do all kinds of crazy stuff for her house because she's awesome. Misp, on the other hand, he is there to be trolled. Maybe we can convince him to let us be roommates, which will allow us to have control over decorating his house. And you and I could go in and totally change the theme.
Yeah.
Like completely.
Either that, or just do like subtle changes, like swap pictures around, or put them at a slight angle and just see if it just sets him off.
Oh, if it's not just ever so slightly perfect, would it actually make...
Yeah.
You guys may have, like, Cosmotronic, episode 30. Mizpah loses his rag. Someone was in my house! Oh my gosh!
He'll have his hair like this, and he'll be going... He's like, what's the matter, miss? Not sleeping well? Someone was messing with my house. Once they've shipped the game.
And this is that moment where I pause and I do the boy band kind of a thing. Oh, man. So, yes, if you want to check it out, in which case I'd have to take on an accent to roll my R's all the time, and I sound more like a vampire than anything else. And now I say to you, Tagazi, do you wish to say anything else to the people who are watching our stream before we disappear?
You sound like the Count that counts.
One. Greetings, everyone. Thanks for watching the Quick Bite from episode 19. But wait, there's more of our Cosmotronic, our loving show dedicated towards all things WildStar oriented. If you like this little Quick Bite, please click like and share. And of course, subscribe. Speak with you soon. Toodle pip.